'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
Did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived closer to that time than this year as I sing this song. And I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
do it.
There we go.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1584, July 24th, 2025. 104 degrees, the record high on this day. That was in 1941. And just think, months later, Pearl Harbor came over the radio. And Chile is 49 degrees on the morning of this day in 1891. Call Josh at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Joe.
How are you?
None of your business.
Fantastic.
Are you? Mm-hmm. Today's your what anniversary?
32.
For being married?
Mm-hmm. I always remember that because it's the same year that Garage Logic was born.
1993.
Yep, April of 93.
April 29th.
Mm-hmm.
And what marked that show?
You
What
left early.
distinguished?
You
I
left early like a son of a gun.
Left early.
Speaking of which, I'm leaving early today.
No, I had to be a witness to a relative's baptism.
Oh, good one.
Now
So
that
what time was it tea
Wait,
time?
it was your first show on a Sunday?
Where were you playing?
No, it was on a weekday. It's on a weekday.
Let's just leave it at that. Lots to get to today.
No, I was just thinking that how happy I'd be if I saw Walls walked out of the Capitol in handcuffs.
Oh, okay.
Marched, I think is the word, Joe. Marched. Yeah.
That's your fantasy of the day?
But, I was thinking about it on the service road of life. More than $1 billion has been stolen from the taxpayer. I have a good explanation of that.
That we know of.
Yeah, I have a good explanation of that from an emailer. Oh, shoot. Where is it? Rook, will you do me a favor?
Go.
Did I leave copy in the printer out there?
I'm sure.
An emailer broke it down. Each taxpayer in the state has been affected by that. Oh, shoot.
So he has the figures on how much it cost each of us?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it. Thank you. Okay. This is from Kelly in Cross Junction, Virginia.
Cool.
Calculating the cost of fraud in Minnesota. I know you're not a fan of math, but on account of you want to know why, I thought it would be insightful to see the actual calculated monetary impact of fraud on Minnesotans and the people of Mankato. Why the distinction? They're Minnesotans too. I asked Google and Microsoft AI tools for help. Question. Because of Walls' $1 billion in fraud, how many dollars per Minnesotan does that come out to? And how many dollars per actual taxpayer does that render? Answer. There are 5.83 million people in the state of Minnesota, so that amounts to about $171 per person. In Minnesota, there are 2.9 million taxpayers, which means each taxpayer paid $344 of the fraud. Conclusion, most Minnesota taxpayers view $344 as a trivial amount, and they are too morally bankrupt to give a rip, preferring to lose that money than have to suffer a fiscally sound conservative alternative. Regarding the 1.6 million food fraud scandal in Mankato, that was $1.6 million, 1.6 million children fed. There are about 7,770 children under the age of 18 in the Mankato area. That comes to 205 meals per child, which would be 3 square meals a day for 68 days. If only half the kids ate the meals, that comes out to 411 meals per child, or 3 square meals for 137 days per child. Always at the mayor's service, Kelly Wing in Cross Junction, Virginia. So he's right. Minnesotans. It's like when the school board, both of which, Minneapolis and St. Paul, are populated by people who have had no experience doing anything in life, much less budgeting large amounts of money. It's like when they say, well, we need another $36 million, and the newspapers enable them by conveniently pointing out, well, that's only going to be about $166 per house, things like that. The trouble is that $166 per house has been adding up over the last 25 years.
It's a union trick.
It's been $166 a year
Yes.
for 25 years.
Because your base keeps
now
going
where
up.
are you?
Right. You're screwed.
And I dispute the fact that some think that's a trivial
It's
amount of
not
money.
trivial at all.
That's a nice trip to the grocery store.
That's right. No, I've been thinking about all of this on the service road of life. And I've been, I think, by my standards, very charitable to our governor. I have always said I really don't think he's putting anything in his pocket. Okay. And I got to thinking about that. And if you think back over his behavior and the behavior of his family, during the George Floyd week of rioting and disruption, his wife actually said, I had to open the window so I could smell the
tires burning.
The tires burning and the smoke from the destruction caused by the rioters. The clear implication being that she was on the side of the rioters. Then you had her daughter. All of this is true. You had the Wall's daughter. Her name is Hope. And she's of age, so she's a fair game for commentary. You had his daughter, presumably, if not with the permission of her father, certainly the knowledge of her father, listening to his phone calls to such a degree that she was able to inform various factions of the rioters who she apparently was plugged into.
She was tipping them off via social media.
Right. She was tipping off rioters as to the presence or non-presence of the National Guard. That's untoward of her. So what kind of guy is he? If the family was rooting for the rioters, and I'm comfortable saying they were, look at the way Walls delayed doing anything about it. He only did something about it when it became evident to him that he better politically act. If the family was entirely comfortable with that, it's my suspicion that they've been entirely comfortable with $1 billion of tax money being stolen, because in their estimation, it's probably going to the right people. People who've been marginalized and sold us this BS about how if we challenge them, we're racist and discriminatory and all of this other nonsense. So I'm still not prepared to say Walls is putting money in his pocket. But he has not displayed enough intensive anger that the people he's hired have completely mucked up the whole operation of the state of Minnesota. Department of Human Services, Department of Education. The frauds are endless. The attorney for the state of Minnesota now, the federal attorney, is Joe Thompson, has said, we've only hit the tip of the iceberg here.
Yes.
This money is continuing to flow out of the state capitol.
His direct quote, I believe a week ago, because we played that in your absence with Miss Collin, basically saying Minnesota has a massive fraud problem.
We lead the country in fraud.
We're number one.
We're number one in something. We're a trans refuge state. We're an abortion refuge state. We're a fraud state. We have become unrecognizable to many of the people in this state. And yet this cockwomble of a fellow, you should look that word up, he wants to run again. How could he possibly be elected? Do the people of Minnesota... Here's the problem. If I criticize Walls, I'm seen as being pro-Trump. That's what the world's come to in the United States.
If you rip Walls, you're pro... Okay.
That's how the world... That's what's happened to the United States.
Yeah.
If you point out something common sense that's wrong and it's being driven by the party that calls himself the DFL, you obviously are a pro-Trumper. people have lost sight of the idea of taking things as they come. The fraud in Minnesota has nothing to do with Trump. The fraud in Minnesota has been engineered by the people that Walz has installed in positions of responsibility and authority, and they have completely failed at those jobs. A Department of Human Services director has bailed. A Department of Education director has bailed. They've been replaced. Those frauds have continued. The people Walz has put in place have completely failed, and Walz has shown no remorse. He puts on a little stage theatric face and said, "I think these frauds are terrible and these people should be punished." And in the meantime, it keeps happening. There's been no intensity for him that this is the biggest problem in the state of Minnesota that he governs. None. And he's coasting along because there just is no public cry of outrage. There is nobody taking to the streets and saying this must stop. It's mind-boggling that people just continue to put up with this. And as I say, if he was let out of there in handcuffs, marched out in handcuffs, I think justice will have been served. And you can march him out in handcuffs even though he hadn't stolen any money. He's responsible for this. These are his people.
Here.
He's the boss. These are the people he hired, and they continue to fail day after day after day. And nothing seems to happen. And
why is there no urgency?
I have no idea. I don't know what's happened to this state. Somebody sent me this. It's from the American Thinker. And it's written by someone named Eric Utter, Utter. It was written July 23rd, yesterday. In case you can't tell, I'm working on a new tourism slogan for the North Star State. Minnesota, come for the high taxes, stay for the road construction. Another one, Minnesota, come for the mosquitoes and zebra mussels, stay for the insane leftist polities. No? How about Minnesota, come for the deer ticks and Lyme disease, stay for the incredibly bad weather. That doesn't work either? Okay. Speaking of boats, Minnesota has a ton of them, atop many of its 10,000, actually 11,842 lakes. It is a physically diverse and beautiful state. Some of its vistas are breathtaking. The air used to be clean before the Canadian wildfire smoke that is now ubiquitous. And the fishing is great. And yet, it now appears possible, if not likely, that a radical Muslim Marxist will soon be the mayor of Minneapolis, the state's biggest city. The once vibrant town that was once called the City of Lakes is now the City of Leftists. The Twin Cities area is host to a large and growing population of Muslim. Yet it also sports one of the largest LGBTQ communities in the U.S. Something will have to give there at some point. Well, that's a good point. Muslims and the LGBT crew, that's not a good fit.
They're not going to be able to coexist.
That's not a good fit. And now the always liberal city seems to be on its way to being overrun with Marxists. It's not bad enough that it sparked the George Floyd riots. Minnesota was once the land of Minnesota Nice, where people could live the good life, as per a Time magazine cover, with then-Governor Wendy Anderson pictured in a boat holding up a northern pike. And now it is known for Representative Ilhan Omar and Governor Tim Walz. Moreover, it is an abortion sanctuary, a transgender sanctuary, and an illegal alien sanctuary. That is an immoral trifecta if I've ever seen one. So speaking of zebra mussels, and in keeping with the hyper-inclusive sanctuary theme, proposed the governor officially and proudly pronounced the state to be an invasive species sanctuary. Minnesota, come for the Eurasian milfoil and round goby. Stay for Omar Fateh and Ilhan Omar. Now, that's a good phrase, comrade. I don't know who this guy was. He was having a little fun with the... We've worn out the idea that we're clinging to a 55, 54, 3-year-old picture of Wendy Anderson on the cover of Time magazine. We've extensively gone through that and parsed it on the show. We've gone through that. In fact, the fellow who wrote the article recently died. Could someone help me with that? He was an American essayist. Who wrote the Time magazine article featuring Governor Wendell Anderson on the cover?
That was Norman Rockwell.
No, but it was like Norman Rockwell. The fellow who wrote it has recently died. We're a long way from that, and it doesn't do us any good to even bring it up anymore because we're so far from that, and we're generationally so far from it that no young people even remember that.
Yesterday, your governor, Tim Walz, issued the following statement via the social media.
You have to speak up a little. Seriously, I can't hear you.
Okay. The governor, Tim Walz, you've been mentioning him. He issued this following statement via social media yesterday. Minnesota just ranked in the top 5 states for quality of life. No matter what happens in Washington, we're still focused on making Minnesota the best place to live, work, and raise a family.
Well, you're not doing that, Tim. You're failing miserably at that.
And driving businesses away and driving residents away. Joe, do you think he's guilty of knowing about the fraud and not doing anything, or do you think he's guilty of being a dumbass and not realizing what's going on right under his nose?
A.
Okay.
John, did you find his name?
They're not giving it up easy.
Yeah, I know. Every
You care to
story
expound on that? Why do you think that he knew?
Chuck Rohr.
Based
Chuck
on,
Rohr.
again, going back to the behavior of his entire family during the George Floyd week, I am suspicious that he knows that the fraud is happening. He probably is safeguarding his own innocence by not participating in it or taking any money, but he's been looking the other way, allegedly. He's been looking the other way.
I'm trying to figure out who he is, because on the campaign trail, he was obviously an idiot and a liar. But then he goes to China all the time. What's going on there? Is he playing an idiot, acting the idiot, or is he really an idiot and being used by China? You know, I can't nail this guy down. I know I hate him. That's all I know. I don't trust him. I think he's a liar.
Kenny, what's the difference between idiot and knucklehead? Because he has...
Is it Lance Morrow I'm thinking of? Lance Morrow, who might have written the...
I believe the name I'm finding is Greg Wierzinski.
It's not him.
No?
It's
Okay.
not. It's Lance Morrow, I think.
Okay.
Look up Lance Morrow, Rook.
Okay.
And see if he just died recently.
Lance
I
Morrow.
believe it was Lance Morrow. But again, we're a long way from Wendy holding up the walleye. That's a fond memory that we have. There's no connection to this state now to that era.
Underneath that tweet that I just read from Governor Walz, someone that I follow posted the following tax rates compared to Iowa, Nebraska, Indiana, basically other states in the Midwest. Dear God.
Well, we're about in the top 5 highest tax states, I believe.
State income tax in Minnesota, 9.85. State sales tax, 8.13. State capital gains tax is 9.85. And corporate income tax is 9.85. Mm-hmm. That's criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, John was right. It's the Wierzinski guy.
No, it's Lance Morrow. Joe's right. I just
What the
It
hell?
is Lance Morrow.
Lance Morrow, the author of the 73 Time magazine article about Minnesota, featuring Governor Wendy Anderson on the cover, was the author.
Yeah.
Lance Morrow.
When did he die? It was recently.
Yes.
Why does that matter? Why are we so hyper-focused on something that doesn't matter? Can we move along?
Because I'm fact-based and I'm proud of myself and I remember the author's
Anyway.
name.
December of 2024.
Yeah, he just
He was
died.
85 years of age.
Yeah.
And as someone points out, the tax rates, that fraud ain't going to pay for itself.
But that's still a memory for national correspondents. They like to drag out Wendy holding up the walleye and then saying, look at your state now. I think it's time for us to move beyond Wendy holding up the walleye. We've got pressing, urgent problems, including the worst possible way to be governed in the country.
What would be the new Time magazine cover?
It'd be Lake Street burning down.
Either that or just rows of homeless tents. Or
Douchebag of the month.
Yeah. I have great news about EcoFun Motorsports. Hot off the presses.
That's exciting.
They're having the biggest sale they could possibly have on personal watercraft. That's Yamaha equipment. So and there's a lot of summer left. If you've been waiting to get on the water, this is the time to get up to EcoFun in Forest Lake on Highway 97, just west of 35. Right now through the end of July, with the purchase of any 2025 jet ski or wave runner, you get a free Triton aluminum trailer.
Wow.
That's a hell of a deal. No extra cost, no catch, just a top-tier trailer to haul your new ride to wherever the water calls. The selection is strong for now, but, if you've got your eye on a specific model, these machines are going to move fast. This is a hell of a sale. Need financing flexibility? EcoFun got you covered with financing options. EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake and Burnsville. But listen, the Yamaha stuff is bulletproof. I just got the new Yamaha Zuma scooter. I'm a big fan of their equipment. And right now, if you get a Yamaha water toy, and they're toys, but they're wonderful toys, you're getting the free trailer. You don't have to say, well, wait a minute, now how am I going to get this thing out of here? How am I going to get it up to the cabin? It'll be on the trailer, which you're not going to have to pay for. That's EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake / Columbus. It's on Highway 97, immediately west of 35. Hell, buy one this weekend on the way to the cabin.
Let's go.
And also EcoFun Motorsports in Burnsville on the Service Road of Life near County Road 42. Great website. Get there. Get on it. EcoFunMotorsports.com.
The end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
The day after Woesome Wednesday, Positive Thursday, always brought to us by Schoonover Body Works and Auto Care. They're in Shoreview, 1060 County Road E. Mike Schoonover is with us today. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Oh, you sound different today. You must have a cold. Anyway, Mike, I want to read you an email that I received from Uper Lisa of the Independent Nation of Upper Michigan. I just got this morning, a few hours ago. Good morning, Kenny. This is Uper Lisa, and I have a Schoonover story for you. I'm currently in Forest Lake, dog sitting for my daughter's dog. Shortly before I came down, I found out from my Chevy dealer I needed new rear brake pads and rotors. I didn't have time to get the work done before I left, but I knew I really needed brakes. Then I thought, Schoonovers. I called and made an appointment for Wednesday, the 23rd. What a great experience. I showed them the diagnostic report from the dealer, and the first thing they did was check to make sure that was correct, and I really needed the work done. It took them about an hour and a half to complete the job, gave me time to relax and have some peace and quiet in their waiting room before returning to my dog sitting duties. And
can I ask you a question? I'm sorry to interrupt.
And their price for repairs was $60 less than my dealership estimate. Score! I also picked up a Play for Patrick sticker for my blazer. What do you think about that, Mike?
Nice.
Crazy.
Yeah. Schoonover Body Works and Auto Care since 1938, the official body shop of Garage Logic. It was going so well. And they're always rated as one of the Metro's top shops, the best in the biz as far as we're concerned. SchoonoverBodyWorks.com.
Mike,
the role of Mike Schoonover was portrayed by a paid actor.
Mike, I have a question about waxing the car. What do you?
Why do you jackasses always try to ruin something that I'm doing? Why did you interrupt me, Joe? Matthew, why were you doing that? I didn't ask either one of you to contribute to this.
No, but I want to say something to Lisa.
I read this wonderful email from Lisa, and you try to get in the way of it.
What I want to know is, did she drag her feet on the ground on the way down here? I mean, she drives down here from the UP. She's got no brakes.
It's just like you to criticize GLers like that.
No, I'm glad she's
seriously,
safe.
what is wrong with you people? Am I the only positive person on this program? Matthew,
Kenny,
put your hand down. I'm not talking to you
I
today.
can answer for myself. It's professional jealousy. That's why I interrupt.
This is Mike. Mike's still here, and you should talk to Johnny Height because we did his breaks about 2 months ago, Kenny.
I want to talk about that next week.
Okay.
If that's okay,
I
Johnny.
can't wait to interrupt.
We'll see you then. Have a good week.
Mike, I'm sorry. We tried. I tried. Go ahead, Joe. Ball's in your court.
Why it's taken so long, I have no idea, but our Republican state lawmakers are now asking the feds to come in and help to uncover the Medicaid fraud. The letter, authored by Representative Kristen Robbins and co-signed by House Speaker Lisa Demuth and Reps Jeff Backer and Joe Schomacker, ask the Inspector General of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to conduct a review into how hundreds of millions of dollars in fraud have gone unchecked for years in this state. This year, federal agents have executed several search warrants while investigating Minnesota programs surrounding autism treatment and housing stabilization. Federal prosecutors have also described the $250 million Feeding Our Future case as the biggest pandemic-related fraud scheme in the country. Acting U.S. Attorney for Minnesota Joe Thompson told 5 Eyewitness News that when all is counted, fraud in state-administered programs could exceed $1 billion. This fraud has gone unchecked for years, despite numerous reports by our Office of Legislative Auditor about the lack of proper internal controls, problems with verifying eligibility, and overpayment or double billing. Representative Robbins wrote to Juliet Hodgkins, Acting Inspector General for Health and Human Services in D.C. Unfortunately, we believe this is just the tip of the iceberg, and we think the time has long passed for reforms that have been suggested but not implemented. Remember, the Democrats would not vote for an Inspector General in the state. Mm-hmm. The letter goes on to state that no one in the Department of Human Services here in Minnesota has been held accountable, and claims that people tasked with overseeing these programs are shifted to other positions or promoted. We've seen that. To root out fraud, particularly in programs administered via home and community-based services waivers, Robbins asked Hodgkins' office to complete a comprehensive audit of DHS programs to ensure that there is accountability and fundamental change in how these programs are managed going forward. In response, temporary DHS Commissioner Shireen Gandhi said her agency is focused on rooting out fraud and abuse. Shireen, God love you. I either don't believe you or you're not doing enough, and has investigated thousands of Medicaid providers in recent years. Well, nothing seems to have come from your investigations. Sharing information with law enforcement, she added, was crucial to the FBI's raids last week on the offices of housing stabilization services providers. As fraud schemes have evolved and become more sophisticated, We partnered with legislators to add new tools and tighten up program requirements, Gandhi said. I'm afraid that sounds disingenuous to me. Because we are a regulator ourselves, DHS understands the value of outside reviews they can bring to enhance internal controls. We will continue to work with state and federal partners, including any additional federal audits to improve program integrity. Great. Again, I'm glad this is happening. I'm puzzled as to why it took so long, but it's happening. An official ask has been sent to Washington, D.C. that essentially says, we got so much fraud here, nothing's being done about it. Can you people come out here and take a look at it? Okay. Because the man that we have in charge of us, the man we elected to represent us, the man who's the governor of the state, the man who hires and supposedly fires these people, although he doesn't, they just move around. They're like priests getting shuttled from parish to parish in a Catholic diocese when they've been found to have committed crimes against children.
Right.
So they're saying to the feds, please come out here and open our books.
Here
Will
it
you
is.
do something about this? This is ridiculous. And the guy we got in control is ridiculous and can't do anything about it. And this buffoon wants to run again. God help us.
It's not for a higher office.
And all of you euphorians who love to listen, you've got to get over this notion that to criticize Walz is somehow to enhance Trump. These are two separate topics. Trump has nothing to do with the criticism of Walz, even though Walz tries to make it sound like it himself. Every time something goes wrong, he said, we're not going to be like Washington, D.C. Well, we sure as hell are not. We're not.
Omar Fateh is running
On
against
that
Trump.
campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, Omar Fateh. We won't let Trump influence our city. Elect me, a communist Marxist. I'll take care of stuff. We'll have a city-run grocery store where, and God forbid, if there's another pandemic, the meat guy won't be there, the produce guy won't be there, and the cashiers won't be there because they're going to claim they're working from home.
Empty shelves.
You have to admit, though, lately, Joe, you've seen some criticism coming from within the Democratic Party.
Not near in this state?
Criticizing one another for that fact that everybody's running against Trump instead of offering better solutions.
This is Minnesota. What are you going to do for the residents of Minnesota, Walz?
Thank you.
So far, all you've done is fail us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Show me why you're better than Trump. Quit talking about
No, forget
him.
Trump. You don't show me
Exactly.
why you're better than Trump. Show me some adult responsibility. I don't count on Trump for that. Why should I count? I'm not comparing you to Trump.
I like this, Joe. This is my favorite Joe.
Well, it should be an outrage with
It should.
every single person who has to write a check to this state that
Yeah.
this idiot is blowing your money.
Right.
Amen, brother. Yep.
I'm outraged.
Yeah, and like we've been saying, where is the outrage?
You got a little fired up there.
Here.
Rightfully so.
deserve to breathe the same air that I and Hulk Hogan do.
You sounded pro wrestling like at the end of your tirade.
Do you know that Hulk Hogan died today?
71.
Mm-hmm. Were
He's a
you
bad ticker.
Were you a friend of Hulk?
We were not friends. I don't know why you're asking me.
Hated each other, didn't they?
We had a fallout.
Well, I'm sure you're sorry
ratted-
that he's
He
passed
ratted
on.
me out.
He went to the path of souls. I'm sure you're sorry.
It was one of the WrestleManias, and it was going to be a big one. And I gathered all my fellow grapplers in the locker room and said, let's unionize. And Terry, I won't call him Hulk because he's a Terry.
He just
Oddly
died,
enough, my
Jesse.
wife is-
Sir, he
her
just
name is
died.
Terry, too. My wife is Terry.
Sir, he just
Don't
died. I would
confuse the
think that
two.
you could. Sir.
No, I don't have any love lost. He went to Vince McMahon and said he snitched me out, saying Jesse the Body was the one that was trying to get everybody to unionize, and then I was white-balled by McMahon.
You were ostracized.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
So
but
you have
sounds good.
you have some burning resentment.
I have some deep resentment. Yeah, it's not going to be a. I'm not going to his funeral being a palm bearer.
Pall bearer.
What?
Paul.
Do what now? I don't know.
Thank you.
What were your thoughts on NWO?
The New World Order.
Yes, sir.
They were frauds. They would have foreign objects in their trousers. You know. You can see it right there. Pair of brass knuckles, maybe an anvil.
You see what I mean by stick in the spoke?
Yeah,
Do you understand now?
I know, but I told him before the show, we're not going to do 10 minutes.
Well, I could go for an hour.
Who turned to him?
I did.
I could go for an hour.
Well,
what do you want to know about Andre the Giant?
Thank you.
Jim Brunzell.
Thank you.
Do you know him?
We're done.
Do you know
I
Jim
went to school
Brunzell?
with Jim.
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Probably
the toughest 6 years of your life, high school. You know,
just wondering.
Brunzell,
we were chugging along. I mean, we were we were full steam. Now the wheels are spinning. Hobos are jumping on and off the train cars.
Look, I can't make it any clearer. We're governed by a buffoon, and the feds. I've been asked to come in and look.
Are you still talking to me?
No, we're done. Thank you, sir.
I gotta go.
Thank you.
Bye.
With the feds have to come in and open the books. They should have green eye shades on and licking the point of their pencils and get to the bottom of this, and then march that fool out of there in handcuffs.
If that was any other private business, that's what they would do. If the state was getting screwed, that's what the state would do.
No, they are doing that. The feds are doing that, and they don't need outrage from the citizens of Minnesota because they're outraged. So hopefully they'll handle this because God knows the voting public isn't going to.
The way the Democrats let me gather my thoughts. The traditional Democrats, those who are left, and it could still legitimately be called the DFL. We do know there's a rift between the DFL and the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. And I think where the DFL could make great headroads with GLers even would be to acknowledge the distinction between the DFL and the DSA, and then to additionally join those of us who find Walz's leadership failing miserably. If the DFL got on that bandwagon and said, we are embarrassed that a representative of our party has failed the citizens of Minnesota this significantly, we too join you in wondering why it's taken so long for a federal investigation into the books. We join you in wondering why Walz has never held any of his employees accountable. We join you, and we're here to help fix that problem. We wouldn't have burned through an $18 billion surplus. We can't keep raising taxes the way we are. The citizens of Minnesota are burdened enough with their property taxes. It's time for us to get back to the values that were held by our forebears, Hubert Humphrey and Walter Mondale and everyone else. We are the DFL. We are not the Democratic Socialists of America. We support capitalism. We support freedom. We support your right to own property. We support home ownership. We're not worried that the earth is going to fall apart tomorrow. The sky is not falling. We're on your side, Minnesotans. They could win that fight. They could win that fight.
But you're talking about the same DFL that voted that Nicole Mitchell would keep her seat.
Yeah, there's a problem there.
So that's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, everything you said, that's how it should be.
Yeah, there's a problem there.
And then they're going to come back and say the same thing about the Republican Party and President Trump. You know, that's why we're at a stalemate in this country. Nobody's wrong. Everybody's right.
That's the biggest problem in the country now is you can't take issues individually, attempt to sort them out without either the left or the right becoming involved. It's a shame.
Yep.
The problems we have in Minnesota have nothing to do with Trump. Nothing. They preceded Trump. They continue. They have nothing to do with Trump. And Walz gets away with this BS every single day by deflecting to Trump. And it's natural that his followers do the same. I am not a pro-Trump guy. That has nothing to do with me being an anti-Walls guy. Walls is a mistake and a failure. This state should rectify it. Can I get an amen, brother?
Amen, brother.
Amen,
the people
brother.
that call you a Trump supporter are the ones that don't listen to the program.
I'm a Garage Logic supporter. I'm for what makes sense. For example, right now, I think it's absurd that we're governed essentially by the Epstein files. That's what's running the country now, are the Epstein files. They're either there or they're not. I don't care anymore.
I also don't think Trey Parker and Matt Stone are fans of President.
And meanwhile, what's really going on that we should actually be paying attention to while we worry about the Epstein thing? You know, that's the question.
We should be worried about long-term energy availability. We should be worried about the economy. We should be worried about people being able to afford their homes. We should be worried about people being able to afford their gasoline and their groceries. We should be worried most principally about crime. We shouldn't fall for this BS that the socialists tell us. The socialists have gone so far in St. Paul to actually blame the Cub closing on the fact that
Yes.
Cub didn't do enough to stop the shoplifters.
Right.
You are the same people. Give me some city council names. It was, hurry up. St. Paul City Council. What's her
Mitra?
name? What's her name?
Mitra? I don't
No,
know.
she's gone. She's taking a health break. It was Anika Bowie. Is it Anika Bowie? She's the one who said, well, this is Cub's fault. Anika, you're the same person who would claim that Cub was being discriminatory and repressive if they actually called the police to arrest a shoplifter.
Anika is Ward 1.
Yeah. You are all fake.
Yeah.
You're phonies. You would cry to the heavens crocodile tears if Cub had 500 police responses last year.
Yeah.
500. And you,
Criminy.
Anika Bowie, and the rest of the least diverse city council in America, you would be crying crocodile tears if someone was actually held accountable for their behavior at Cub. It can be linked directly to the behavior of the mayor in the same shopping complex when a young woman about 5 or 6 years ago created a horrible disturbance in a telephone store. And we saw the video of her
Lexington and
disturbance. The
University.
police handled it with kid gloves. They handled it professionally. The mayor could have turned his career around and done great things for the city of St. Paul by taking that girl by the scruff of her neck gently, taking her to her house and saying, would your parents please come out on the front porch?
Amen.
Let's have a little discussion here about personal responsibility. What is the first thing Carter did? We need a police review of their behavior. He blew it.
Shoot.
You'd be a national politician right now, Melvin, if you had done the right thing.
The
but
son-
you just fell back on the easy BS.
And what did his father do for a living?
A police officer.
Joe? Yep.
Wonder what my blood pressure is right now.
She's a little high.
No, I don't think
You got
so.
a pacemaker?
Nope.
Not yet, huh?
No, I walk every day. Yeah.
I walk every
We'll be right back with Johnny Hyde. I'll tell you, though, it's summer. I'm really hung up on the fact that I just don't want to see anybody trying to get garage door work done in the winter. You're going to have to, routine service,
Yeah.
right? It
Oh, yeah.
breaks on a cold day, but Precision Door Minnesota, serving western Wisconsin, the entire metro, they can get you into a new door right now, and I would do that in the summer. And GLers consider that they have models of doors for every budget. And right now, Precision Door is offering GLers $100 off a single door and $200 off a double door. The designer comes out, you shoot the breeze, you figure out the right look.
Let's go.
The door improves security, it improves insulation, it improves aesthetics, and get it done while the weather's comfortable to do it. And then Precision Door, of course, takes care of the routine needs. Garage doors fail. You got to call a guy. You got to call your garage door guy and get it fixed. And Precision Door is the answer. You can book online for your new door consultation or just a routine service call at precisiondoormn.com. That's one word, precisiondoormn.com. Or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
I need GLers to tell me I'm not crazy. Well, I'm crazy. I acknowledge that. But in regards to customroasting.net, an amazing cup of coffee at a reasonable price, the official coffee supplier to GL and the Krabby Coffee Shop, offering a wide variety of flavors, either whole bean or ground, that I am finding absolutely delightful, better than anything. They've got a small little operation right there in downtown Buffalo, and that really benefits us. Because they've got a loyal team, everybody in the team invested in their success and invested in your happiness. That's why you get the best cup of coffee. Those beans that you just ordered today, they're being roasted this afternoon and then put on a truck tomorrow morning, and you'll get them by Monday. That's how fast the turnaround is at customroasting.net. The French roast, I've been drinking it for years and years and years. I had no idea how bitter the French roast was that I was previously buying until I compared it to customroasting.net. It's delightful. The problem I'm having is I'm drinking coffee now till 6 o'clock in the afternoon because it's so good. I can't get to sleep. Thanks, customroasting.net. Go to the website. You're going to see a tab right away on the landing page for a GL variety package. That's so you can try out 4 different blends, 10 ounces for each bag. We're talking the Minnesota Morning Blend, the Boundary Waters Blend, the Columbia Excelso, and, of course, the French Roast. I've tried all of those now, and I love them all.
Can I interrupt you for a minute,
Yeah,
Kenny?
do it, John. I know you tried it, too.
Boundary Waters.
Yeah.
I'm usually a French roast guy, too, and I love their French roast.
Yeah.
But the Boundary Waters is supposed to be a medium roast, I believe, but it's really robust. It has a wonderful flavor. Actually had pot this morning already of the Boundary Waters. Really
robust.
Good stuff.
I got to use that word, robust.
It's
the roommate loves the Boundary Waters. Get there. Get to that website, GLers, whole bean or ground, customroasting.net.
Here is John Haidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news is brought to you by North American Banking Company. Derek Thompson sentenced this morning, sentenced to more than 58 years in prison for that 2023 crash that killed 5 women in South Minneapolis.
Not long enough.
He was given credit for over 2 years spent behind bars. Thompson convicted of 5 counts of third-degree murder, 5 counts of criminal vehicular homicide for grossly negligent driving, and 5 counts of criminal vehicular homicide for causing a collision and leaving the scene. He had already been found guilty on federal charges related to guns and drugs found inside the SUV after the crash. Thompson, the son of former state legislator John Thompson. Minnesota Pollution Control Agency has expanded an air quality alert to now cover most of the state, including the Twin Cities area. And, of course, it's due to a heavy band of smoke from wildfires in Canada that moved in yesterday for the northwest part of the state and is settling down into the central and southern areas of the state today. The alert is in effect until 11 o'clock on Friday evening. For a little more than the northern half of the state, the air quality category will be red today, meaning it's unhealthy for everyone. But most of the rest of the state, orange category. That means it's unhealthy for sensitive groups today, people like who have asthma, heart and lung disease, or other respiratory conditions. That does include the Twin Cities. The air quality expected to improve on Friday, with most of the state falling into the orange category. Winds start to help push the smoke back up north, but the MPCA says it might take a day or so for the air quality to completely improve. Update to a story we had yesterday and that we've been following ever since it happened. A 16-year-old boy was not charged with murder in connection with the death of 11-year-old Amir Lamar Atkins. Minneapolis police said they arrested the teen around 9 o'clock Tuesday in Apple Valley. Later, the Hennepin County Attorney's Office announced the teen had been charged with 1 count of a minor in possession of a firearm. The Attorney's Office stated that murder was not a viable charge because of evidence of self-defense. The story, listen up here, it is considerably different than we originally thought. As previously reported, gunfire had erupted at Falwell Park on Dowling Avenue North in Minneapolis, June 23rd. Surveillance footage captured 2 people arrive at the park in a Honda Fit and park in front of the rec center. Court documents said 2 other people came out of the rec center to get into the vehicle. At the same time, court records said a Kia and Hyundai drove erratically through the park toward the rec center at a high rate of speed, and an individual identified as the 11-year-old victim leaned out of the front passenger seat of the Kia, holding what appeared to be a firearm out of the window as the vehicle veered toward the group near the Honda Fit. According to the juvenile petition, someone dove into the rear seat of the Honda Fit and quickly emerged with a firearm in his hand, fired multiple shots toward both vehicles. The petition said the 16-year-old later identified himself in the video but denied that he had a gun. Charging document also said investigators found 2 discharged cartridge casings and a fired bullet in the rear passenger cargo compartment of the car, as well as apparent gunfire damage to several areas of the vehicle. According to the petition, officers located the victim in a vehicle several blocks from the scene with a gunshot wound to the head. The Kia Optima also had several bullet holes.
We thought he went to the park to play Frisbee or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm. 7 men arrested by the Edina Police Department this week as part of an underage human trafficking sting. Edina Police said the 7 men who were arrested, ranged in the ages of 25 to 48, believed they were arranging to pay for sex with an underage girl. They reportedly live in communities throughout the Twin Cities metro area. The arrest part of a multi-agency task force focused on addressing trafficking and exploitation along the I-494 corridor. And shares of United Health Group slipped today after the healthcare giant said it's under a Department of Justice investigation. The company said it has started complying with both criminal and civil requests from federal investigators, and it was cooperating with them. Earlier this year, the Wall Street Journal said federal officials had launched a civil fraud investigation into how the company records diagnoses that lead to extra payments for its Medicare Advantage or MA plans. Those are privately run versions of the government's Medicare coverage program, mostly for people ages 65 and over. The company's United Healthcare business covers more than 8 million people as the nation's largest provider of Medicare Advantage plans. Wall Street Journal said earlier this month the Federal Criminal Healthcare Fraud Unit was looking at how the company used doctors and nurses to gather diagnoses for the bolstering of payments. Why don't we take a quick break here and hear from Mr. Reavers.
Thank you, Johnny. Hey, get this. From start to finish, you can enjoy the best handcrafted spirits made right here in the great state of Minnesota, courtesy of our friends from Harmony Spirits. Check out their website, harmonyspirits.net. They have a bunch of upcoming events, including a very cool summer concert series. But I was at the car show for the 4th of July, which was really neat. And it's just a great spot to stop in over the course of the weekend. It's a beautiful part of the state, but they've got so many cool things going around the state or the city of Harmony, Minnesota. But check out their Facebook page, which is also extremely active. And on that Facebook page, you can see their summer drink menu. I've mentioned the blackberry lemonade, which is fantastic. You can also see what else we got here that's coming up here, courtesy of Larry and Damon. Ooh, how about this? The Harmony Spirits is having the $5 Bloody Mary special this weekend. I had a little sip of the Bloody Mary that morning. Very, very good. But that's what you get when you have handcrafted spirits made right here from grain to glass in Harmony, Minnesota. But when you stop into that tasting room, it's a rotating menu of those craft cocktails. So it changes quite often. But you can also, maybe you're on the bike and can't sample the drinks there. They've got those to-go cups where you can bring it home and then enjoy it over ice once you get back to your respite. It's fantastic. Oh, here it is. The blackberry lemonade and the barrel-aged old-fashioned. That's the one that I was looking for. That one is also extremely good. So stop in, say hi to Larry and Damon and the entire crew. Go into your local liquor store and ask for the Harmony brand by name. But when you stop in, make sure that you mention they heard about them here on the Garage Logic Podcast.
over
I don't
finally.
show up.
I need to go look for a
Truth,
job.
justice, and the Souchere.
You know, the worst would be having that conversation the day after the state fair.
We've
Just
had that
fire
before.
me. Fire me before the show, not after. I don't want to put in the effort.
Announcement?
It's that magical time once again where we mention our Garage Logic GLer of the week.
Who is it?
Oh,
And you are eligible by having an annual town council membership as we draw for the GLer of the week around Tuesday-ish each and every week. But you have to have an annual town council membership.
I ain't got no sheet of paper.
So it takes us 2 days to process once it's picked through the
Well, no, we just have to
judges
have a
and
deadline.
The
'cause
lawyers.
The name was submitted to me yesterday, and so we're going to start reading them on Thursdays because this just in. Fridays in the summertime get to be a little sketchy.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you're telling me that you have the new winner?
I do.
All right.
The GLer of the week. And we would like to congratulate, bear with me, cue the talent, stand by. I had it ready here a minute ago. Nels Peterson of Nisswa, Minnesota.
Yes, right up by Aiken.
You are the
No, more by Brainerd.
This one, it's
So
up
by
there.
just north of
Cloud.
Brainerd.
North of St. Cloud.
Nels Peterson of Nisswa, Minnesota. You are going to get the $50 certificate to Masters Maples and mastersmaples.com. And as I can mention this, by the way, don't waste it all on syrup. Get some of that seasoning right now because it's grilling season.
Well, you
Just so
get
I
what
put that on
comes
my
in
roast.
the pack.
I'm just saying.
I put that on my roast because I didn't have the other stuff.
That's pretty
Okay.
good.
It was really good.
Savory or sweet?
Savory.
Savory, very good. So congratulations to Nels Peterson of Nisswa, Minnesota, not by St. Cloud.
I have a question.
Oh, boy.
Do you think a hammer toe, you know what a hammer toe is?
Yeah, my grandma Teresa.
Do you
had one.
think that's nature's way of keeping the toe from getting too long? It kind of folds over. Because I
that
have
what-
one, and if you straighten it out, it'd stick way out from the other toes.
Yeah.
It would be longer.
I've got that too.
You know what other celebrity has it? Your friend Belinda.
Really?
Yes.
But I'm thinking maybe that's nature's way of keeping all the toes aligned.
Which toe is it on you?
The second one on my right foot.
Oh, mine is the second one next to the pinky toe.
Why did I know that? And when would I ever see you
I don't
without
know
your
why you knew
shoes
that.
and socks
but,
off?
but
That
I'm
scares me.
wondering if that's that's the body's way of not letting a toe outpace the other toes.
What about this one? I had a pinky toenail that was folded over like a taco.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's flattened out and it's normal, and the one next to it is folded over like
Yeah.
a taco.
That's
What is that?
That's a ringworm problem.
I got to quit swimming in that swamp. Stay out of the pond.
Do you know
Because
that?
I'm thinking I might go to a guy and say, "Can you cut off the tip of this thing?"
Oh,
Do it
so
in
it's
the
the
winter.
same length
Don't.
as the other toes.
Do it in the winter.
Well,
so
I'm
you
not
don't
going to
miss
do
any-
it today.
Well, you don't want to miss any rounds. in the
That's my
summer.
point. I'm not doing it today.
Do you know what that means if you do have extra footage or inches
Yeah.
on your hammer toe?
Yeah,
It means you used it all up. So
yeah.
people that now that you've admitted that, everybody knows.
Well, that's just a question I had. Here's John.
I'm on the old playlist for both Spotify and Apple.
Yeah.
Because I was curious because
I
this
bet
is
we
a
just
topic.
sunk a few, huh?
No,
How
this
many
is a
did we
topic
lose?
that would be on the 10 Toes Down podcast.
There is a podcast.
There's a podcast
kidding
about
me?
toes.
You're kidding
Because
me.
I was going to give you the old,
Yeah, as long as I get the time in the town.
give me a
Did
call.
you
There's a
see the-
podcast about feet.
Did you see
Some
the
people are
time
into that.
list of the top 100 podcasts?
Are we on it?
Not only are we not on it, but neither is the top podcast in the whole wide world, Joe
then I
Rogan.
don't feel too bad.
Who compiled that list?
The same guy. The line I read on X is the same guy that decided who the top guitar player were in Rolling Stone.
Here's John.
Are we done with the
Yeah,
hammer toe
yeah.
conversation?
God, I hope so.
All right, let's move along then to some news. President Trump unveiling his administration's AI policy yesterday. The 23-page framework outlines actions the government will pursue across dozens of federal agencies to promote its AI goals and outpace China in development. The policy broadly seeks to accelerate AI innovation in the U.S., and that includes loosening up environmental regulations to speed up the construction of data centers. The government will also invest in training efforts for high-demand positions like electricians and HVAC technicians. In all, there are over 90 federal policy actions the government aims to take within 1 year to help in the AI growth.
This is all the stuff, John, that DSA wants to take over. That's the kind of thing that the Democratic Socialists of America think they can run better than trained people.
If the president sees the AI that the South Park people released today, he might change his mind.
Pretty good one.
What he wants seen. Federal judge in Florida ruled yesterday the court's hands are tied in releasing federal grand jury transcripts from 2005 and 2007 in connection with an investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. The ruling was separate from a request the Justice Department has pending related to a grand jury in the Southern District of New York, where Epstein was ultimately indicted. In the Florida case, U.S. District Judge Robin Rosenberg said that though the government believes special circumstances exist and the policy reasons for grand jury secrecy have expired, its rationales are no exceptions to grand jury secrecy rules. A report yesterday said President Trump was told by Attorney General Pam Bondi this spring that his name appeared in unreleased files from the Epstein investigation. The president has not been accused of any wrongdoing related to the case. The files are likely to contain references to many people who came in contact with Epstein. Meanwhile, Justice Department officials are expected to interview Ghislaine Maxwell, the former girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein, today. Two people with knowledge of the situation said. The interview of Maxwell, who is serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking, is part of the department's effort to quell criticism that it's concealing details of Epstein's crimes and interactions with high-profile figures. As we know, the whole Epstein thing has had some Trump loyalists turn on him, and now, well, Jacob Chansley. You got to remember Jacob?
No.
Jacob is the QAnon shaman. Remember January 6th?
Fruitcake with the sheepskin coat
and the horns.
He can go bleep himself.
He denounced Trump yesterday, responding to a post on Trump's 2023 mugshot. He decried the president as a fraud and said, quote, "Bleep this stupid piece of bleep."
If I was Trump, I wouldn't worry about that guy.
Right.
Chansley wrote.
It's the least of his concerns.
Yeah.
Chansley wrote that in a since-deleted post. Before it was deleted, the post had more than 34,000 views.
That ain't that many.
Okay. Good enough.
Got it.
Rook, I hate to
big country.
I hate to give you this bit of sad and breaking news in the middle of the newscast.
What do you got?
Are you sitting down?
No.
Joy Behar apparently just slipped up and admitted The View is going to be done after tomorrow's episode.
What?
What are you guys going to do?
What are we going to do? What am I going to watch?
Oh,
How am I going to get all my...
that windbag is going to get off the air.
Are they kicking him off?
Apparently.
Wow, not one moment too soon.
I don't know, Chris, it's not that I don't trust you, but every time you come out with a one-line story, I'm kind of afraid that it might...
Plus, you get all your news off Twitter.
No, it's being posted in a number of different places.
Okay.
So
Terry Hulk Hogan Bollea has died.
How is Bollea spelled, John?
Bollea.
Bollea. Terry Bollea.
Dad was a construction foreman.
Hulk Hogan was 71 years old. He's survived by his third wife.
That's Hulk's
Sky.
theme. Don't scoff.
I don't know what that is.
Sky Daly was his third wife. News of Hogan's passing was initially reported by TMZ. According to Clearwater Fire and Police Departments, there was a call for a cardiac arrest at Hogan's Clearwater Beach address, and Hogan was treated by fire and rescue crews before being transported to Morton Platte Hospital, where he is pronounced dead. Although Hogan's professional wrestling career began in the late 1970s, his true explosion on the scene didn't come until the mid-1980s, when he helped Vince McMahon turn the then WWF from primarily a Northeast-based wrestling territory into a national brand and eventually a multi-billion-dollar company. A lot of scandals plagued Hogan over the years. In 1985, you might remember on a talk show with actor Richard Belzer, they put Belzer in a chokehold at the star's request. Belzer passed out, suffered a head injury, and sued Hogan. They eventually settled that out of court. Nearly a decade later, Hogan offered testimony in the federal steroid trafficking trial against Vince McMahon. And in 2012, a clip from a sex tape involving Hogan and Heather Clem was published online by Gawker. Hogan sued Gawker, and after years-long litigation, eventually reached a $31 million settlement. Then in July 2015, footage from the same sex tape was leaked to Radar Online and the National Enquirer, where Hogan was filmed using racial slurs and claiming he himself was a little racist. The incident caused WWE to cut ties with Hogan for several years before eventually reconciling. One of Hogan's most recent appearances at Raw's Netflix debut in January was met with overwhelmingly negative reaction from WWE fans. Hulk Hogan was 71.
In any of those court proceedings about steroids, did he ever make reference to Little Hulk?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, just checking.
Little Hulk is running wild.
Little Hulk.
Chuck Mangione,
Oh.
Rochester jazz musician, Rochester, New York, created hits including Feel So Good As Died. According to his attorney, he was 84, died in his sleep. The flugelhorn and trumpet player inducted into the Rochester Music Hall of Fame in 2012. He earned 14 Grammy nominations, winning 2 over his career. His album Feel So Good became one of the most successful jazz records ever produced, according to the Rochester Music Hall of Fame. In 1980, Mangione got international attention when he performed the song Give It All You Got at the closing ceremonies of the 1980 Winter Olympics at Lake Placid.
The Rochester Music Hall of Fame. How big could that
How
be?
you doing?
There's a lot of jazz musicians from Rochester, actually.
There are, huh?
Steve Gadd, the famous drummer.
Oh, yeah.
Is
from
Feels So
Rochester.
Good? Is that his big hit? Da, da,
Yes.
da,
Yeah,
da,
that was
da,
his
da.
big hit.
Okay.
That's his only hit.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He was the
other
Home and
hits,
Garden theme, too. I forget what that was. But he.
Give It All You Got, the one they talked about for the Olympics, was also a hit.
How do you know what the Home and Garden theme
He used to
is?
produce that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Executive producer.
You were
I was the executive
You
producer.
ran that show.
Yes.
Hey. Only after I retired.
Oh, I
That's
didn't know
true.
Kenny had that,
Oh,
too.
he was.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
He'd come in there all bleep faced and try to get to 8, 10 o'clock before sports talk.
Yeah, I hadn't gone to bed yet. That's true.
Chuck was a great band leader, not so much a great player. That's the nicest way. I can
Oh,
put it.
okay. That's a professional
Yeah,
critique.
he had some very good musicians with him, and he utilized them.
Never saw him live.
Can you?
I never saw him live either.
Was that a flugelhorn?
Yes,
he
he
played
said.
the flugelhorn was the real mellow sounding one.
That's
he also
that
played trumpet.
Big,
on occasion.
giant-looking trumpet thing,
Yeah,
right?
it's got a big bell, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the what was the piece of music that Snoopy's mom used to talk, or the teacher? Wah, 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 wah. Was that just
It's
a
probably
regular?
just a trumpet with a mute. You put a mute on it. And
Got it.
Wah, wah, wah,
I
wah.
always wondered what piece of instrument that was.
Yeah, probably.
I knew it was a horn.
Some TV/entertainment
Wah, wah,
news.
Wah, 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 wah. Yes,
That's
ma'am.
they put a bowl over the end.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's a rubber thing, and they move it off.
Or a
and on.
hat.
Technology.
If you're in the
man.
Glenn Miller Orchestra,
Yeah,
it's a
use an
hat.
old fedora.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
Oh God! All my musician friends right now are going, John, why do you allow this to happen?
Oh,
Those
okay.
commies aren't listening.
Yeah. They don't even own a radio.
Well,
That's a good
Or
thing.
whatever
We're not
you have to.
We're a podcast.
If you're driving in a car now, can you be listening to us
yes.
live?
Jeez.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
It's called streaming.
Yeah, that's streaming. Boy, that's a big
Does
deal.
Yo Jetta have streaming? I don't know if
I don't think so.
I just feel
I'd like
so,
to listen
so
to the rest of the
defeated
show
at this
before I
point.
leave here.
So defeated.
Thanks, John.
ESPN.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
go ahead.
Give us
Keep
another
going,
one.
John.
Wait till you hear this number. Go ahead, John.
ESPN and NFL are closing in on a deal for the worldwide leader in sports to acquire NFL media. Andrew Marchand of The Athletic reported the deal could see ESPN acquire properties such as the NFL Network, the 7 regular season games that currently air on the league-owned network, and the Red Zone channel. Both sides are, Marchand writes, you ready? Inside the 5-yard line on this deal.
Oh, please.
Marchand said it could be a boon for ESPN's app as well as in its future negotiations with cable and operators for its slew of networks. It could upsell Red Zone in the app as well as demand more operators like YouTube, TV, Fubo, or cable system to continue to offer the service on its platform every Sunday in the fall. All of this comes as ESPN is soon to make its programming available in a direct-to-customer product. ESPN has coined it as the next era. That ESPN product, if you just want to get that one thing, would cost you $29.99 a month.
Don't I already have ESPN directly on
you
my
do
TV?
for now. This is why your cable bill is going to cost you about $900 a
I'm going to
month.
dump it.
Did anybody have a chance to watch the Twins yesterday afternoon?
I was in my car in the 9th inning and stayed in my car until I realized they were going to blow it again.
Yeah, it was amazingly disappointing.
Yeah. Well, the Dodgers are pretty good. That one guy they got from Japan, he's pretty good.
Shohei Ohtani?
I'll say.
Yeah.
That one guy they got.
That one guy, the fella from Japan.
Thank you, Johnny.
Sure.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
It's hot out. You got to stay hydrated, Joe.
Thank you. Are you a meteorologist telling me how to live?
I'm trying my best. But the best way to stay hydrated is with the best quality water, and that comes to you courtesy of
You
Hofferman
can't beat
water.
a good glass of Hofferman water.
Ice cold, too.
Stop interrupting him.
Also making the best ice is Hofferman Water and Connecticut. I am a proud customer. And that's how this relationship started. What? Oh my God, 8 years ago now already. They came out and they gave me that free water analysis, and they said, boy, oh boy, Reavers, your water is god-awful. And I said, well, let's do something about it immediately. And that's what we did. They gave me this thing called a water score, and that's what they will do for you as well. And then based upon that water score, they're going to give you some treatment options for you. And it doesn't matter whether it's a brand new water softener, maybe a drinking water system, whatever the case might be. You can check every single water treatment system that they have to offer at their website, which is HoffermanWater.com. And on that website, you can also book your appointment to have them come out. Or if it's easier for you, just give them a call directly at 612-895-2440. Or like I said, HoffermanWater.com. They're going to come out, give you that free water analysis, and give you some recommendations. And they are the absolute best. I could not be happier with the difference in the quality of water that they have done for me and my family inside my home. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Do me a favor and mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast. Joe?
We have a beer problem.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I think this is something every GLer needs to be aware of. Politics has even entered the world of beer. A popular brewery in Maple Grove. It's called Omni Brewery.
Yes.
Are you aware of it?
Very popular.
Mm-hmm. A popular brewery in Maple Grove has apologized after it canceled a reservation for a conservative group that had booked its event space. They canceled the conservative group less than 24 hours after a Democratic candidate for the legislature held a fundraiser in the same space. Omni Brewery took to social media last week to explain the perceived political bias. No, it's not perceived. It sounds like a bias, where it had allowed a Democrat fundraiser to take place the day before it notified the conservative group it was canceling its private event and refund its booking deposit. The Twin Cities chapter of Americans for Prosperity, I'm unaware of that group, was supposed to hold its Big Beautiful Bill celebration last Tuesday afternoon at the private event space inside the Omni Maple Grove Tap Room. Americans for Prosperity is a conservative libertarian organization that focuses its work on advocating for fiscally conservative policies. So I think Walls is not a member. The local AFP, Americans for Prosperity, Minnesota chapter marketed the event to its audience on Facebook on July 11, just 4 days before the event was to take place. The group said a staff member received a refund email instructing them the reservation was canceled with no explanation. So there you have it. Following the cancellation, Omni posted a screenshot of Americans for Prosperity Minnesota advertisement on its Facebook page with a bold message on it that read, "We do not support this. The event has been canceled. Please read the caption for more information."
They're blaming software, Joe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're blaming everything but the truth.
You know, this is the world of beer. You shouldn't even worry about it. Just whoever, short of, 48 felons trying to book your room, what do you care who books it?
You would think it would be the one nonpartisan thing we could all gather
beer
around.
Is
the
pretty
old
nonpartisan.
Well, that's where I was going to go, because in the years that Fratelloni and I used to do the beer show, we interviewed 1,000 of these craft beer guys, and every one of them intentionally did their best to just stay out of politics altogether.
What is their beer? I'm unaware. Is it just called Omni?
Omni Brewing. What is they?
I don't know their beer.
Let me see. There is one that I'm not a big craft beer guy anymore, but I know that they made one that I did enjoy. Hang on, let me look at their beer list.
I can tell you about Americans for Prosperity. Minnesota is the premier grassroots organization in the land of 10,000 lakes, actively shaping the policy landscape at the Capitol and within communities across the state.
Well, I'm rooting for them, but I don't think they're making much headway.
Well, I hadn't heard of them until I read this story yesterday.
It seems that we would have the opposite people in place at the Capitol.
Yeah.
Only because they come to us all. Let me just conclude the brewery.
Sure.
Just Don't worry about it, brewery people. You sell beer.
But I get why they did this because I'm sure that their base was furious.
You think their base is a bunch of liberal wieners?
Have you met a craft brewer?
No. Well,
Well, they're the ones with the man buns and the funny ponytails up on the top of the head.
Well, no
and
wonder they're
finely
fading
crafted
out.
beards and
Only because they come to us all
girls'
the way
underpants, the whole deal.
all the way from Marloth Park in Mpumalanga Province, South Africa, from the Traveling Lymans. It was on this day,
July 24th.
and this didn't happen in Minnesota. It was on this day in 1786. Geographer Joseph N. Nicolet was born in France. After traveling by canoe to Omash Kuzu Zangian, later called Lake Itasca, in 1836, and to Inyan Sa Kapi, a pipestone quarry sacred to Dakota people, in 1838, he published a map of the upper Mississippi River's drainage system in 1843. I thought Nicolet was a priest. Who am I thinking of? Hennepin. Hennepin was a
Father
priest.
Hennepin.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
This is Nicolet.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me this guy got into a canoe from Lake Itasca and went to Pipestone? Is that what you just said?
He went to he found a pipestone quarry. That might be different than where Pipestone, Minnesota is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the same.
Well,
isn't it?
whatever. He went a long way there.
That's
in the
pretty
canoe.
impressive.
He had a nice canoe.
Still a sacred quarry there.
Had a nice canoe.
He had an
Is it a
outboard
Grumman?
motor. And then we only did one more thing on this day.
On July 24th.
What's the date?
July 24.
In 1998, baseball related,
July 24th.
involving a pitcher.
From the Twins?
Nope. Isla Borders of the Duluth
Oh,
Superior
yeah.
Dukes was the first woman to win a men's regular season professional baseball game. The Dukes beat the Sioux Falls Canaries 3-1 in Duluth.
I remember that.
And I believe Isla then, didn't she pitch for the Saints
She
for a
did.
while?
Yep, she did.
I wonder where she is now.
Wasn't she a coach for a while?
John I-L-A, Isla Borders.
Because she played with Strawberry with the Saints.
Borders worked in the Long Beach Fire Department for 1.5 years before moving to Gilbert, Arizona in 2008. She was a firefighter and emergency medical tech for the Gilbert Fire Department before becoming a firefighter paramedic for the Cornelius Fire Department in Cornelius, Oregon. As of 2017, she lived in Beaverton, Oregon.
Well,
I stand
congratulations,
corrected.
Isla.
I thought she coached. I apologize.
On this day,
July 24th.
in Minnesota sports disappointment history, on this day in 2021, Vixen lost D1 championship to Boston 42-26.
You remember where you were?
No. Is that football?
Yes.
What's the D1 mean? That's not college, is it?
No, it's not college.
Well, why does it say D1?
I don't know. I don't know much about the league that had the Vixen because I believe they're no longer in existence.
Boy, they didn't last long, did they? I don't recall them at all.
No.
Well, that's too bad, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Too bad we lost, huh? Yeah. That was a sports disappointment.
Would we have
wasn't
had a
it?
parade had they won?
I think so.
Short one.
I think so.
Okay.
Here's me saying thank you very much, GL.
Go ahead, John.
There's still a Minnesota Vixen.
There is.
There is, yes. They put 10 on the All-Star team this year. Just so you
Well,
know.
how bad can the rest of the teams be if the Vixen put 10 on there?
There's 4 teams.
Jeez.
I don't know.
That's like the Frost winning the Stanley Cup it was
They're an original 6.
the historic Stanley Cup, and it was the second year they vied for it. You know,
Historic.
not the Stanley, it's the Frost Cup or whatever
Yeah,
it
I
was.
know what you mean.
Yeah. Thank you.
Please do us a favor. If you have not done so already, you should join the thousands of subscribers on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. Yeah, that's right. Garage Logic has a YouTube channel, and on that channel, you can watch the show each and every single day, and you can also see full segments. There's video shorts, there's behind-the-scenes footage, and it's all there for you. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube and also search Garage Logic on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can also sign up for the Daily Logician. That email comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up right now on the website, which of course is garagelogic.com.